He always wanted a son, a perfect little boy to carry on the family name. He got one, but the DNA test proved the child wasn't human at all. My name is Marcus Whitfield. I'm a corporate lawyer in Atlanta, divorced, no kids, 42 years old, and lonely as hell. In 2019, I decided I wanted to adopt. Not a baby, too much waiting list drama. I wanted an older child, someone who needed a real home. That's how I found Elijah. Elijah was 8, orphaned in Liberia during the Ebola crisis, brought to the US by a Christian charity. The file said both parents died, no known relatives. The first time I saw his photo, those eyes, big, dark, ancient, like he'd already lived 100 years. The social worker warned me, he doesn't speak much, night terrors, possible trauma. I thought, I can fix that. Love fixes everything. The first few months were perfect. Elijah called me Gaddy within a week. Straight A's, polite. Helped with dishes without being asked. But there were odd things. He refused to eat meat, said it screamed when it touched his tongue. He could sit perfectly still for hours, staring at nothing. And every night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., I'd hear him whispering in a language I didn't recognize. Not Liberian English, not French, something guttural, clicking, old. Then the animals started disappearing. Neighborhood cats, dogs off their leashes, found drained of blood in the woods behind our house. Police said coyotes, but there are no coyotes in Buckhead. Elijah would come home with dirt under his fingernails and a satisfied little smile. I told myself it was coincidence. The breaking point came on his 10th birthday. I wanted to surprise him with one of those ancestry DNA kits. You know, let's see where your roots really are. He didn't want to do it, begged me not to send it in, said, some things should stay sleeping. But I'm a lawyer. I don't believe in superstition. I swabbed his cheek while he was asleep and mailed it anyway. 3 weeks later, the results came back. I opened the envelope, expecting 60% West African, maybe some European from colonial times. Instead, the report said, insufficient human DNA detected for standard ancestry analysis. I thought it was a lab error. Called the company. They said, sir, we ran it 3 times. The sample contains human markers, but they're mixed with something we can't classify. It's not contamination. It's not animal. It's unknown. That night, I confronted Elijah, showed him the report. He didn't cry, didn't deny it. He just looked at me with those ancient eyes and said, I told you not to wake them. Then he smiled, wider than any child should be able to smile, and asked, do you want to know what I really am, Daddy? I couldn't speak. He stood up, walked to the mirror, and pressed his forehead against the glass. The reflection didn't move. It stayed staring, while Elijah turned away. He told me the truth. During the Ebola outbreak, his village performed a ritual to save the children. They bargained with something older than humanity, beings that live between worlds. The price: one child would become a vessel, a bridge. Elijah's body died, but something else moved in. It let him survive the fever, let him cross the ocean, let him find me, because it needed a bloodline with no living heirs to anchor itself permanently. I tried to run, called the agency, the police, a priest, anyone. Every door I opened led back to the living room where Elijah sat waiting. Finally, I asked the only question left. What happens now? He tilted his head and said, now, you finish what you started. You wanted a son to carry your name forever. I'm going to make sure the Whitfield line never ends. Then he hugged me. His skin was ice cold, and I felt something crawl under it. That was 5 years ago. I'm still here. We live quietly. People say I look younger than my age. Elijah is 15 now. Still doesn't eat meat. Still whispers at 3:17 a.m.
And every year on his birthday, another neighborhood pet disappears. The ancestry company closed my case, marked it inconclusive. But sometimes, late at night, I look in the mirror, and my reflection smiles a second too late. So if you're thinking about adopting a child with no past, ask yourself, do you really want to know where they came from? Because some doors, once you open them with love, can never be closed again. Drop your wildest adoption story in the comments. Like this video if it got under your skin, and subscribe because the next tale might be closer to home than you think.